These are every Boeing military aircraft explained, starting with the B-17 flying Fortness. Flak bursts fill the cold European sky. A formation of massive four-engine bombers thunders through the chaos, the unmistakable sound of 1,200 horsepower Wright Cyclone engines. One of them is hit, smoke trailing behind, yet it stays in formation. That's not just any plane. That's Boeing's B-17 Flying Fortress, the machine that turned the sky into a battlefield and forged Boeing's name in steel and fire. When it first flew in 1935, the B-17 was a technological leap. All metal construction, retractable landing gear, and defensive gun turrets in every direction, hence the nickname Flying Fortress. During World War II, more than 12,700 of these giants rolled off Boeing's production lines. They became the backbone of America's daylight bombing campaign against Nazi Germany. Each mission tested the limits of man and machine. 10 crew members braving anti-aircraft fire and enemy fighters at 25,000 feet, all to strike precision targets deep inside Europe. Despite staggering losses, the B-17 earned a reputation for bringing its crews home even when riddled with holes. It didn't just drop bombs. It built Boeing's reputation as the master of military aviation, setting the stage for every aircraft that would follow. As the last B-17s returned from war and peace settled over a scarred Europe, Boeing's engineers didn't rest. Because somewhere in the deserts of America, a new giant was being born, one that would carry not just bombs, but the power to end civilizations. Next, the aircraft that refused to die, the B-52 Stratofortress. The year is 1952. A massive shadow glides across the dry lake beds of Edwards Air Force Base. Its wings stretch nearly half the length of a football field. The ground trembles as 8 jet engines roar to life. This is the B-52 Stratofortress, Boeing's new symbol of Cold War dominance. Built to deliver nuclear weapons deep into Soviet territory, the B-52 was more than a bomber. It was a psychological weapon. With a range of over 8,800 miles and the ability to stay airborne for half a day, it represented the ultimate form of deterrence. Its pilots called it the Buff, short for Big Ugly Fat Fellow. But ugly or not, it worked. Over the decades, the B-52 has done it all: carpet bombing in Vietnam, launching cruise missiles in Iraq, and standing guard during every major U.S. conflict since the 1950s. Boeing kept it alive through constant upgrades, new engines, radar systems, digital cockpits. Now, more than 70 years later, the B-52 is still flying, with plans to remain in service until at least 2050. Few aircraft in history can match that record. But when the Cold War turned hot in the skies, the B-52's age-old rival wasn't a bomber at all. It was a fighter built for absolute air supremacy. Next, the F-15 Eagle, the jet that's never lost a fight. The year is 1972. A new threat rises, fast, deadly, and Soviet. The MiG-25 Foxbat shocks American intelligence with its blistering speed. The U.S. responds the only way it knows how, by building something even faster, even deadlier. Enter the F-15 Eagle, Boeing's answer to the Cold War's challenge for air superiority. Twin engines, twin tails, and a climb rate that could send it soaring to 65,000 feet in under 2 minutes. The philosophy behind it was simple: not a pound for air to ground. The F-15 was designed to do one thing: dominate the skies. Armed with AIM-7 Sparrow and AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles, and equipped with powerful radar, it became an instant legend. Over decades of service, from the Middle East to the Pacific, the F-15 has achieved over 100 aerial victories and 0 combat losses in air-to-air fights. No other modern fighter can claim such a record, and Boeing didn't stop there. The F-15EX Eagle II now carries modern avionics, new engines, and even hypersonic weapons. But while the F-15 ruled the open skies, the Navy needed a fighter that could survive the brutal world of carrier combat, a jet built to launch from steel decks and fight above the open sea. Next, the F/A-18 Super Hornet, the Navy's unstoppable workhorse. The ocean is calm until the silence is shattered by a roar. From the deck of the USS Nimitz, a sleek gray jet catapults into the sky, twin tails slicing through the mist. That's the F/A-18 Super Hornet, Boeing's naval warrior. the fighter that carries America's power across every ocean. Born in the 1990s, the Super Hornet was the Navy's answer to aging aircraft like the F-14 Tomcat. Larger, stronger, and smarter than its predecessor, it could strike targets hundreds of miles inland, dogfight with lightning agility, and refuel other jets mid-air. Its advanced avionics and radar made it a true multi-role machine, capable of air superiority, ground attack, and electronic warfare. From the Persian Gulf to the South China Sea, the Super Hornet has been the first to launch and the last to leave. And while newer stealth fighters grab the headlines, the FA-18 remains the Navy's trusted workhorse, proven, reliable, and ready for anything. But what about the aircraft that doesn't just fight? It carries the fight to every corner of the world. Next, Boeing's airborne giant of global reach, the C-17 Globemaster III. A wall of gray steel thunders low over a dusty airstrip. The ground shakes. Then, impossibly, the massive jet touches down, not on concrete, but on bare dirt. That's the C-17 Globemaster III, Boeing's flying titan, the transport that redefined what anywhere on Earth really means. First delivered in the early 1990s, the C-17 was built to bridge the gap between heavy lift and tactical precision. It can haul 85 tons of cargo, from tanks and troops to helicopters and relief supplies, and still land on runways barely 3,500 feet long. Inside, a computerized cargo system and advanced aerodynamics make it one of the most versatile aircraft ever built. From Afghanistan to Haiti, the C-17 has delivered hope and firepower alike, airlifting wounded soldiers one day, dropping food and medicine the next. It's not glamorous. It doesn't dogfight. But every mission in the modern military depends on what the C-17 can do. And when those missions stretch across continents, even the C-17 needs support. From an aircraft that never sleeps, refueling and rearming the sky itself. Next, the KC-46 Pegasus, Boeing's flying gas station of the future. High above the clouds, a massive aircraft flies in perfect silence until a boom arm extends from its tail, locking onto a fighter jet just inches away. Fuel begins to flow. This is the KC-46 Pegasus, Boeing's next-generation aerial refueler, born from the legendary 767 airliner. Developed for the U.S. Air Force in the 2010s, the KC-46 was designed to replace the aging KC-135 fleet. It's more than a tanker, it's a multi-role command center in the sky. With advanced sensors, secure communications, and the ability to carry passengers or cargo, the Pegasus turns refueling missions into fully connected operations. But its journey hasn't been easy. From wiring flaws to refueling system glitches, the KC-46 faced years of costly setbacks and delays. Boeing had to fight through intense public scrutiny to deliver an aircraft that could meet the Air Force's future demands. Now, the Pegasus is finally spreading its wings, fueling fighters, bombers, and even allies around the globe. And as Boeing mastered the air, it turned its eyes to the sea, transforming a humble passenger jet into one of the world's most advanced submarine hunters. Next, the P-8 Poseidon. The ocean stretches endlessly below, calm and silent, but beneath the waves, something moves. A faint sonar ping echoes through the deep. Above it all, a jet streaks across the sky, sleek, white, and deadly. That's the Boeing P-8 Poseidon, the submarine hunter that turned the world's most common airliner, the 737, into a weapon of maritime dominance. Built in the 2000s, the P-8 replaced the aging P-3 Orion, bringing cutting-edge sensors, radar, and communications to the fight beneath the sea. It can drop sonobuoys, track enemy submarines in real time, and deploy torpedoes with pinpoint accuracy. The Poseidon doesn't just hunt, it watches. From tracking Chinese submarines in the Pacific to shadowing Russian fleets in the Arctic, it's the eyes and ears of the modern Navy. And nations from India to Australia now fly it, making it one of Boeing's most successful military exports of the 21st century. But while the P-8 guards the oceans, Boeing has built something that left Earth altogether, a machine so secretive, so advanced, that even today, much of it remains classified. Next, the X-37B spaceplane, Boeing's leap into the unknown. The countdown ends. Flames erupt beneath a rocket, hurling a small white craft into the void. No crew, no public mission details, just silence. That's the Boeing X-37B, the uncrewed spaceplane that blurs the line between airplane and spacecraft. Developed in the early 2000s, the X-37B was once a NASA concept, but when the military took over, its purpose became classified. What we do know, it's autonomous, reusable, and capable of staying in orbit for over 900 days before gliding back to Earth for a runway landing, like a miniature space shuttle. Inside, it carries experimental payloads, new propulsion systems, materials, and surveillance technologies. Some call it a testbed, others a secret weapon. Every mission adds to Boeing's legacy of innovation, from the B-17 that conquered the skies to the X-37B that now patrols the edge of space. It's not just a story of aircraft, it's the story of human ambition with wings. So now the question is, in a real global conflict today, which of these Boeing aircraft would matter most?